Well, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the engine house. I am, of course, your host, Candy Dancer, and of course, here's the shop kitty right here on top of this box. We'll get to that box here in a minute, but first, we're going to go ahead and go over a couple other things here. Okay, I have finished this building, and we'll get a close-up of it here in a minute. It is, for all intents and purposes, done. Okay, so we'll move the camera here, and then we have an unboxing. So it's going to kind of be a short video, not that long today. So let me get this camera moved and set up over here, and we'll go over some of this stuff here and the great unboxing. Okay, now that I got the camera where I want it, we will go over this building. I am calling this finished, okay? It is, I have the roof on it. I have weathered it slightly. I have Red Riding Hood's cape here. This is what this represents as the part of the awning. And I have a smaller awning over the door here. Okay, and a little bit of weathering here and there, and it's going to need some touch-up. Now, is this perfect? No. This is the first time I've tried something like this. Let me remind you what this started life as, okay? So, it is my first attempt at something this big. If you go into some of my past builds, of course Shop Kitty this morning is knocking stuff off. We're going to move that over there. If you go into some of my past builds, you'll see I did an HO scale lobster shack, scratch built a couple of years ago. But I've never tried to do something this big using a cardboard box. And with pretty much material that we had on hand. So this was my first attempt, and I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to build. I like it. It came out about as I figured for a background building. It's just about right. It's going to be setting off far enough back so you're going to get the you're going to see it, but you know, detail, smaller stuff, and there will be a sidewalk and an alleyway here, and those will be in a much later video, much later on, when I get ready to actually start doing other things. So this was my first attempt. It's not perfect. It just, as I go, as you move on, if you try something like this, you don't have to worry about being perfect right on. That's not the point. The point is to have fun. I had a lot of fun building this. I just had a lot of fun trying it out, seeing if it was going to work, and it came out as I expected it to. So I'm happy with it. That's the main thing. It's your layout. If you're happy with it, that's all that matters. You know, don't let anybody else judge your choices for how you build things or what you do. Give it a try. You may say, well, yeah, I'm not that crafty. I don't do craft stuff. Well, this was simple. You never know. And of course, like I said, this was my first attempt at something like this, and it takes time. It takes some getting used to. You're gonna make mistakes. I made a few. You're gonna screw things up here and there. I've done it here. I've had to change a few things, fix a few things as I go. Still, if you look here behind it, the chimney pipe is crooked on the back. I misaligned it when I put it in. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it again. It's not going to be that noticeable where I put it. And if I do decide to move it, unless I move it so you're looking at it from the rear, you're not gonna notice. And I decided again not to put a door here for now. because where this is going, the back will not be seen. Later on, should I decide I want to put it somewhere else, and you may see part of the back of it, I will go ahead and put a door in it at that point in time, or add a door. So for now, this is considered done. I'm going to call this finished. And again, is it perfect? No, not by any means. Was it fun to do? Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. Will I get better as time goes on? Sure, we all do. The more you do it, the better you get. So don't be afraid to tackle something like this on your own, on your layout. If you're like me and you're kind of on a budget, I spend my money on some other things. The unboxing, you'll see, I managed to talk to the wife and let me buy that. So I do some of this other stuff as cheaply as possible, and to put some stuff on my layout. And it was fun. So this one I'm calling done. I'm going to set this one aside. I'm going to move Chris Moose over here. And this is what Shop Kitty just knocked on the floor. And one of the dogs picked up a stone and is chewing on it somewhere in there. I'll have to get it. Knocked off a stone on the basement here. This is going to be Hansel and Gretel's confectionery is what this is. This is one I started before I went ahead and started that one, and I've kind of been putzing around on it, so I'll be shooting some videos on this as we go. I believe I showed in an earlier video, these are what goes around a coffee cup, a paper coffee cup, and you cut them open and they kind of look like corrugated metal. So I'm doing the furnace room in corrugated metal. I have some trimming to do. This wall here will be up against this. I started the window. I have to build a doorway, and of course there'll be a walk landing here and a walkway, a stairs or something down here. These are going to be the next videos I shoot. I've been slowly working on them in between taking a break from this and doing this. So this is the next thing. This is a little more. I'm using balsa wood for the window frames, and I'll be making those as we go, and for the door frames. Excuse me. And then of course I'll be using the same coffee cup holders for the roofing on this. There'll be of course metal roofing. And this is pretty much all just cardboard and stuff I've had here free. It was stuff that came you know, packaged for other stuff. The stones that I'm using as the foundation were here from the previous owner. I pulled out a few, cleaned them up. I'll be gluing them around. I started to see if they would glue, where I needed them and how I needed to do it. I won't be doing any more until, of course, I'm at the point where I'm finished with the rest of this. There'll be a loading dock here made out of 2-inch thick foam, as well as a loading dock here. This is trackside. So there'll be a loading dock here with a rail yard, which is down on my layout, the siding. And so there'll be another foam loading dock here with, of course, a ramp going in that direction. And I'll be shooting videos on finishing this one up as we go. The next few videos I shoot will be this one. Okay? So now we'll go ahead and get to the unboxing video. Occasionally, when I find it and I can get it at a reasonable price, of course I buy Lionel stuff. Everything I currently have is post-war, 1946 to, I believe it's 1969, I had it wrong, is considered the post-war era. Everything I have is either 1946, 47, or 1950s locomotive and rolling stock and switches. The other day I stumbled on these. This is, they consider this pre-war, and So we are going to go take a look at it. These actually came in a little earlier than I had thought. And get this out of the way. We'll see, we'll just start here at one area and we'll take a look. Here is the tender, and it has the this is interesting. It has, I believe, a coupler on this side is a pre-war and a post-war of some sort. And of course this is bent. This is going to need to be fixed. And there goes Shop Kitty right in the box, right? Yeah, this is interesting. I've never seen anything quite like this on one. It has a regular knuckle coupler here and this. So I'm going to have to do, I have no idea about pre-war. I was not doing Lionel until my wife gave me her father's old set, and I was going to do HO, so I know very little about some of these. Oh, this is the locomotive. And this, I believe, when I looked it up, this was made in either 41 or 42, so it was probably before Pearl Harbor or shortly after the war actually started, right around in there. They call it pre-war. This is a 1684 locomotive, which is a 242. Okay, and overall it's in pretty good shape. Of course, it appears it's a little stiff. There we go. I am going to have to take this apart, of course, and clean it and give her some lube. And it's also very cold. It's been sitting in the package. I literally just got this in the mail 5 minutes ago. Let me put this over here. So here's the locomotive that comes with that, and it's very heavy, very nice locomotive. I actually like that. We're going to have some fun cleaning this thing up and seeing if it runs, and it is going to need a good cleaning and probably some new wiring and whatnot. Not in a big rush to get it done. I have other projects that are coming ahead of it. It's just nice to have it. And let's see, what else do we have here? And here is a pre-war Lionel Lines boxcar. Shop Kitty right here. She wants to be right here. It's very interesting. This also has the this coupler setup here, which is a very interesting setup. I'm unfamiliar with those, so this is going to be a little bit of research. If anybody knows something, put it in the comments down there. If you're familiar with pre-war Lionel, I am not. This is very, very nice. Needs a cleaning. Overall, the trucks need a little bit of cleaning and some lubrication. This is, of course, also a little bit smaller than the post-war stuff. I will. Next video, maybe if I remember, I'll bring a post-war boxcar up for comparison. I do like the way this has the brakeman's wheels here. This one looks like it might need to be tightened up. It has the ladders here, and of course the sliding doors. Overall, it's in pretty good shape. We're going to put this right over here, and I'm going to put the bubble wrap down here to keep the cat out of it. And here we have the tanker, a Sunoco. Seems Lionel had a thing for Sunoco tankers. All of my post-war tankers are also Sunoco tankers. And again, the same type of couplers here that I am definitely not familiar with, but it does have the knuckle couplers. How interesting. I don't know what that is. I will have to do some research. Very nice, very nice. It shows some wear. It's got some paint scuffed off there, and it's a little dirty, and some of the signage is faded a bit, but overall it's for how old it is. If this is 1942, we're looking at like 80 some years. It's not too bad, can't complain. And this again looks a little smaller than the post-war tanker. It's slightly smaller this way. I think it's about the same height, but it looks shorter and than the post-war stuff. And one last piece here is the caboose. These also are very heavy. These are tin plate. These are tin. They weren't using plastic at the time, so these were all tin, and the trucks are different than the truck set up on the post-war rolling stock. And this one has a knuckle coupler on this end and nothing on this end, so you know which end. And of course it also has this this is a little weird. It has this coupler here, but not one on the opposite side. I don't know if that was supposed to, or if this was set up in such a way that it would be, you know, hook up somehow. I'm again gonna have to do some research. I don't know. I saw it. It was, the price was right. Every now and again I splurge, and when I can find something that the price is right on, and since I didn't have any pre-war Lionel, I decided to go for it. Should I later on find some more pre-war rolling stock to go with this, I will probably grab a couple more pieces. Nothing fancy, nothing major. But here, this is it. This is what the unboxing was the pre-war Lionel, and I will do a comparison with the post-war stuff. As a matter of fact, you give me a minute, I will bring up some post-war stuff from down in the engine house, and we'll do a comparison right now. Okay, size comparison, here we go. Here is pre-war, 1941-42 boxcar, okay? Here is post-war. You can already see the size difference in the two. This is slightly taller, not much, slightly wider, and again, not a whole lot, but the biggest difference, of course, is the length. This boxcar is almost half again as long as the pre-war version. Okay, so that's the boxcars. Let's do the tanker. And once again, this tanker is taller, believe it or not. We will hold these two side by side. You can see that is taller. But again, it's slightly shorter. Not quite as short as the boxcar compared to the post-war, but it is shorter. And you can definitely see the difference in the two of them here. This, of course, is single, this is a double, and this has the ladders up the side. This does not have any ladders on it. This does have a handrail, as does this. Very interesting. This, of course, is tin plate, or tin, as is the boxcar and the caboose, whereas the post-war stuff, they began to use plastic for the bodies. The frames and trucks were still all metal. And there's that, and here, of course, the last, and again, slightly shorter than its post-war cousin. And the cupolas are the same height, though the roof on the pre-war is slightly taller than the roof on the post-war. This has, looks like I have a car to fix right here on this one. That is somehow broken. This is the post-war. This is a lit caboose. It's got lighting, and the lights do work, and body is plastic. It again is slightly longer than the pre-war, and the pre-war is actually about the same weight. This is lighted, so it's got a little extra stuff, but this has no lighting in it. It is not a lighted car of any kind. It's just the tin, painted tin. So there you have a side-by-side comparison. I did not bring any locomotives up. They are all pretty much the same size. This tender is about the same as a few of the other whistle tenders I have downstairs. So it's the same size overall. The difference being the trucks and the way, of course, it hooks up to the locomotive. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to show, was the difference in the trucks here. These have the coverings are here that were for checking and oiling and whatnot. It appears to be missing some over here, so we'll have to find those on this one. And this one, of course, there's a little more detail. The springs and these inspection boxes are slightly smaller than these. Whoops! You can see the difference in the size of the inspection box here and the inspection boxes here, and this has a lot less detail overall than these do. And again, I will have to see if I can't locate the boxes that go here. They're missing off of this set. So should I find some parts cars that are missing other parts but have those, I can probably pick those up. And this one completely spun itself around, and I'm going to leave it like that for the time being. I want to see exactly how that works. We're going to leave that alone for now. I could spin it back around right like that. Very interesting, very interesting. Yeah. There's your size comparison between the pre-war, what they called it, which again was 1941, 1942, and then of course Lionel went into war production for the military, so they had stopped producing, and they did not start again until 1946. So these being 1950s, give or take, these three here, I have some 1946. I have a 1946 tanker, caboose, no boxcar. I don't believe any of the boxcars came with my wife's dad's set, but it was a different setup. These are 1950s, I believe. So there you have it. There's the difference. Now, I wasn't intending on shooting a video because I wasn't expecting this set to come in quite as soon as it did. So probably due to the holidays, I probably will not be shooting another video until after the Christmas holiday, probably right around the first of the year. So from our family, the Dancer family, to yours, I hope you have a happy holidays. I know there's quite a few holidays that fall in this whole region here. So I'm just going to say happy holidays. Whatever one you celebrate, I hope it's a good one. You guys have great holiday season, and we'll see you after the first of the year. Bye for now.